What's up guys, NepentheZ here and welcome back to some FUT Champions gameplay. The Weekend League is back upon us and this time around with the games that I play, guys, I'm going to try my best to get through them quicker in the videos, maybe doing 11 or 12 games per video and only having 3 videos, making them a bit longer, getting through them a bit quicker. So by Wednesday at the latest, well, actually like Sunday video 1, Monday video 2, Tuesday video 3, Wednesday back to regular schedule programming up until the Saturday, and then on Sunday again we continue with FUT Champions. I think that's a fair thing to do. Now, upgrading my team, as you can see, guys, I picked up Wayne Rooney, I picked up Anthony Martial, and I'm going to be using my fitness cards as well this time around. I personally, I'm still figuring things out myself. This game's new to everyone. The game mode is new to everyone. The market is different to what it was last year. And what I'm finding is having one team is far more beneficial than having 2 teams, which means I need fitness cards or a fitness team, which I just don't have the time to do. Like, the 40 games on the weekend is tough. The last weekend and the weekend before, I did 40 games on 2 different accounts. I can't do it this weekend. It's too much. I feel like it's what's made me ill this week. You could probably hear in my voice that I'm not completely 100%, and genuinely feel it's because sitting there stressed as hell for 16 hours a day, 2 consecutive days every weekend, it's just not, it's not healthy. It's not healthy. So I took the executive decision to do FUT Champions on my Road to Glory account and not on my main account. So last week we had a horrendous start, losing our first 2 games, and I just didn't want to do that this week. And you can see the team we got on the screen. It's a pretty nice team. I do eventually want to go full BPL, but I don't want to use weak BPL defenders, like Reed and Matip and such. I'd rather wait until I could afford Koscielny or Company or Smalling as well, 2 solid BPL centre-backs and a solid BPL left-back and a solid BPL right-back, which we can't right now. So I'm happy to use what I've got. I have got some more comments from the SBC upgrade video, which I want to discuss, but also I really want to discuss the ins and outs of FUT Champions, and that's what I'm going to start with this time around. FUT Champions, guys, is hell. It's absolute hell, and I love it. It's one of those things where I hate it and I love it at exactly the same time. It's like back in FIFA 12 when I used to complain about FIFA, because I was a serial complainer back in FIFA 12. Like, if you think I complain a little bit now, if you used to watch me back in the day, oh my god, I was horrendous. I used to be like, I hate this game, I hate this, I hate that, and people were like, why do you play it then? And that is a fantastic argument, but it's because I love it. I love to hate it, and I love it, and I hate loving it, and I love hating it. And it's one of those relationships with the game where I hate losing, right? I'm very bitter when I lose. I consider myself to be good. I want to be the best. I never like to settle for not being the best. I play this game a hell of a lot. I've played to a very, very high level back in FIFA 09 and FIFA 10. I was in like ranked top 100 in PES 2006. I played FIFA and football games in general to a stupidly high level in my life. So when I'm not good enough on FIFA 17 and as before FIFA 16, FIFA 15, etc., etc., it bothers me to the point where I get so angry at the game. And in hindsight, it's always my fault. No matter how many excuses I make, no matter how many things I say this and say that, it's always my fault. And that's what bothers me most with FUT Champions, why I hate it so much, is because you only have a 48-hour window to play 40 games, right? Which is difficult. It is difficult. For those of you that have, we've been through it so many times, for those of you who have extracurricular activities, school, work, kids, or whatever it is in your outside of gaming life that might take up some of your day on Saturday and Sunday, it's difficult to fit in the 40 games. What's even more difficult is to keep your head and keep level-headed throughout the games, because if a bit of AIDS goes against you and screws you over, it puts you on tilt like that, especially in FUT Champions. And I've got to figure something out with that, because you'll see me here, I go on an insane win streak. You could probably tell by the title of the video. Yes, there was a point in this week that our Road to Glory account was ranked top 100. How crazy is that? It's crazy, and you'll see what happens. But what you're watching right now in this gameplay that you're watching is you are watching me get luck after bounce after cheese goal. Everything was going my way, and I'm not too scared to admit it. There were a couple of games in these games that you're watching now where I deserved to lose. Not many of them, 1 or 2. But in general, like, I was just getting retarded bounces going my way. Every shot I was taking was finding the back of the net. And you know, the only thing I was thinking of whilst it was happening to me is, this is going to come back to haunt me. Somewhere down the line, I'm going to start getting this stuff go against me. And this is where I think people have a huge problem with FIFA. Because it's inconsistent. Because it's like, it is luck. It is like, it's like what we call EAs, or what people refer to as scripting or momentum or handicap. It's not. It's just luck, right? It is pure luck. And if you are unlucky in FIFA, you could go on to lose 4 or 5 games that you probably deserve to win because of a silly bounce here, or a silly thing there, or a goalkeeper not making a save that he should have made, or a defender lunging in for a tackle when you didn't press the tackle button and it causing the striker to just run through clean on goal. You know, that's just bad luck. It's bad game mechanics, yes, but it's bad luck. You could also have a string of good luck, which is what I have here, where it all goes in your favour and you end up taking wins that you probably shouldn't take. And people refer to that as scripting, because what might happen is, for 2 or 3 consecutive games, you might have it where you're dominating someone and their keeper's making wonder save. And although I would still argue that that is your fault for not taking your chances properly, taking incorrect shot choices, making bad decisions, it is unlucky that when your opponent goes down the other end with his 1 or 2 chances, he puts it in the back of the net. That's unlucky. People say, this game's scripted against me. And I tweeted out, actually, the game that I lost, which I think is this game, the game that I lost, initially it was my fault. And it's not this game, but we'll get to it. Initially, it was my fault that I lost, and I've got a good reason as to what I could have done differently. In hindsight, when looking at the game back, I look at it and I think I really shouldn't have done that, and then I wouldn't have lost the game, right? And that helps you grow, that helps you learn as a player, that helps you become a better player. But on the other hand, I look at it and it was like I had like 18 shots and 15 on target, and his keeper made 13 saves, and I just sit there and think, what has gone wrong here? Why has his keeper made this many saves? I don't think there's ever been a game in FIFA where my keeper has made 13 or 15 saves. It just doesn't exist. It doesn't happen for me. And what that is my play style is bad for my counter play style. So I mean that in like the way that I like to play FIFA is very bad for the way that I hate to defend in FIFA. I hate it when people counterattack me, yet my playstyle is so aggressive and so pressure-based, so possession-based, that all I'm doing is opening myself up to counterattacks. So it's on me, it's my fault for doing that, and it's on me to learn how to better that and beat that, and it's not easy. You see there, guys, we end up picking up a nice 5-1 win. We now have 3 wins, 3 wins out of our first 3 games. And this is where our first loss came. So we come up against this dude here, Framed Gunner 15. He's got a pretty decent team. Anthony Marshall, Shaqiri, Remy, Eriksson, Matic, and Lanzini. Is it Lanzini? It was Lanzini in midfield, isn't it? A nice defense, nothing crazy. He doesn't have chem styles on some of his players. I'm playing good FIFA right now, and I'm sitting there thinking, hey, man, you know, I've got as good a chance as any to win this game. Unfortunately, he scores a really nice goal, actually. That's a fantastic backheeled through ball into his attacking midfielder, which was Lanzini. He puts it in the back of the net. Now, I did manage to get back into the game. Keeper saves the ball there, Keylor Navas. I have got Oblak, and I could change Oblak out, but I don't know what it is about Navas. I like him. I don't know why. He's probably the downfall, causes me a few losses here and there, but I like him. But we get back into the game with Heung-min Son late on, 85th minute. 90th minute, I get a corner. It's deep in the 90th minute as well. I was expecting this to be full time, and it wasn't. I tried to go for broke because I was so happy that I got back to 1-1 and I was dominating the game, and I was like, yes, I've got this guy in the ropes now. I end up taking a corner, trying to score, losing possession and conceding, when what really I should have done is played the corner short, run back to my own goal and get into extra time to save myself any potential 90th minute losers. And you can see by the match stats here, 18 shots and 12 on target, and only 2 of them from outside the box and 1 of them on the line of the box. The rest of them all from fantastic areas, which means there comes a point where, number one, you can say, damn, that's unlucky, because to an extent it is unlucky, but it comes to a point as well where you can say, that's my fault. That's my fault. Well, it's my fault for conceding the second goal in the first place. His first goal was really nice. His second goal was just idiotic from myself. You'll notice at least 50 to 60% of my goals conceded are from either me having a corner or me having an offensive free kick. I'm terrible at taking corners. I'm terrible at taking free kicks. I can't score from either of them. So even though I try, what ends up happening is I lose the ball and my opponent counters me. I can't deal with counter-attacks because I'm a horrendous defender and I concede a goal. So that's what happens in the majority of my goals conceded. And it's so easy to look back on my games and be like, look at this is what's wrong. But when you're in the heat of the moment and you're playing, that all goes out the window. And it's easy on a regular basis to pull that back and be like, okay, that was one bad game, that was one slip up, let's move on, let's move forward, let's remember what we've taught ourselves over the last few weeks, let's remember what we've got as our knowledge of how to be a better FIFA player and move into the next game. Or sometimes you might lose that game and be so tilted that you're like, do you know what, I'm done on FIFA today, let me switch my console off, I'll come back tomorrow, we'll try again. But with FUT Champions, you can't do that. You have to just keep going. There's no alternative. If you just switch it off and come back tomorrow, you might not have enough time to finish all your games, and if you haven't got enough time to finish all your games, you're not going to get the best possible reward that you can get, and in turn, you're going to end up doing yourself an injustice or a disservice. So, in FUT Champions, my aim for future weeks is to learn to keep my cool and just accept the mistakes that I make as mistakes and learn from them, rather than blaming the game and blaming my opponent and blaming EA and you know, suggesting that it's my opponent's fault. If my opponent's playing part of the bus and passing around his defence and it's 0-0, I need to figure out how to beat that. If that's his playstyle, if that's how he needs to play to get wins, it's on me to beat that. It's not on him, because when you go into a game tilted, your opponent most likely is also having troubles. He's also very desperate for the wins. You know, he wants to do as best he can in FUT Champions. He's desperate to get his, like, you know, gold 3, gold 2, gold 1, elite ranking, whatever it is. He's nervous. He's probably, you know, panicking every time he gets the ball. He probably feels like you're being a dick when you're playing. Like, when I play, I'm like, damn, this guy is a dick. I probably play against so many people that are like, damn, this guy is a dick. And it's because it's just people's play styles. It's just how it is. So what you've got to remember is every time you go into a new game, the guy that you're coming up against has no idea that you just had this cheese or that cheese, or that his keeper made 20 saves or your striker missed 3 open goals. He doesn't know about that. And the game itself, the physical copy of FIFA, doesn't know about that. It doesn't remember. It doesn't sit there and think, you know what, we screwed you last game, let's do it again. It doesn't do that. It doesn't also sit there and think, you know what, we screwed you last game, let's hand you some luck, let's hand you some cheese. Everyone plays the same copy of FIFA. There is a lot of AIDS in this game, there is a lot of bullshit in this game, but ultimately it is just broken game mechanics. And the only way to get around it is doing what the pros do: minimal risk chances, minimal risk passes, minimal risk everything. You need to minimize your risk and maximize your, you know, your percentages, basically. Don't take a long shot when you've got an easy pass on just because you're frustrated that your opponent's beating you 1-0 and you're sitting part of the bus. Make the easy pass. Take your time with the ball. Enjoy the games. And one of the biggest problems I have, that I had last weekend and that eventually you'll see me have this weekend, one of the biggest problems I have is when I go on a little bit of a bad streak, losing 1 or 2 games, maybe 3 games, I go into the next game rushing for the win. I'm like, right, I need to get a goal, I need to get a win, I need to put this guy to bed. That's a terrible way to play FIFA. That's just going to make you lose more games, have more problems, and concede more goals. But guys, we get ourselves into bronze 1 after just 6 games. We've got 5 wins and 1 loss. I was playing really good FIFA at this stage. I was getting quite lucky. One of the goals that I scored there with Wayne Rooney, I took a shot from the edge of the box, it hit Rooney in the backside, it deflected in. Like, I was just getting the rub of the green. But whilst I was getting the rub of the green, it was prudent for me to continue to keep playing and keep trying as best I could to get as many wins as possible. Now, going to go back to the questions. Some of the stuff that I got from you guys from last video. The first one is from Bushlick. Says, I can't believe you actually responded to my comment. You're one of my favourite YouTubers. He said, to respond to your response, this guy asked me about stuff to do with, you know, when I was talking in the last video about Daniel Sturridge being 50k but come team of the year, he's so cheap so he doesn't play till team of the year, but there's other players better, yada yada yada. He says, to respond to your response, generally there's a gap between the players that most people can afford and the players that only be afforded by coin buyers or mad road to glories like you. I don't have a lot of coins since I don't have a lot of time to put into the game, so getting a guy like Aguero is never going to happen, but Sturridge is always the best I can do, so that's why I don't see the point of spending 50k on Sturridge right now, when in a few months he'll be way cheaper. Reason being, I can't afford those new players you were referring to when you talked about the scale thing. So I do kind of understand what you're saying. What you're saying is when those new players come, you can't afford them. But so my point would be, why not go and get Danny Welbeck right now for 1,000 coins and play with him instead, because what you'll find will happen is, even though you don't have as much time to put into the game, right now you're putting no time into the game, and that's a bad thing for when Team of the Year comes around. But even if you put the little bit of time that you can into the game right now, you'll have a considerable amount of coins by Team of the Year. Even if you played, let's say 5 games a week, even with your, or no, I don't know, 5 games a week, let's say 10 games a week, right? 10 games a week is a really minimal amount of time. It should be quite easy to do. 10 games a week with your coin unlocks for the first however many games. After 6 or 7 weeks, if you use a fitness team as well as like a cheap team, if you don't care about your record, you don't care about wins or losses, just at 10 games a week for the first sort of 10 to 20 weeks, you could easily amass 200,000 to 300,000 coins easily. It's just the way it is. With season rewards, with FUT champion rewards, with the daily knockout tournament rewards, even if you're bad at FIFA because of the coin unlocks, you will have, after 10 games a week for 10 weeks, you will have at least 150 to 200,000 coins. Like, and that's putting next to no time in the game. As long as you're smart with your coins, you will be absolutely fine. But I do understand where you're coming from. You're basically saying, like, what's the point of me like slogging it out with these garbage players when I can, you know, wait until Team of the Year, go and get myself Daniel Sturridge for super cheap, and then have someone that I'm going to play with for the rest of FIFA. And yeah, I do get that. Don't worry, I do get that. But for me personally, I would play, even if I played offline, just to get wins, get coins, get wins, get coins. Easy as you like, no effort required. Don't have to use superstar players. Gain coins. Happy days. That's what I personally would do. But each their own. And good luck with your journey going forwards. The next comment I pulled up was from the Real Ray 20, and the Real Ray 20 has 126,891 subscribers, which is amazing. And his comment was very good, very nice, very interesting for me. He said, "What's up, Nep? First off, big fan. Even though we're in completely different genres, you're one of the guys that inspired me to pursue YouTube as my full-time job. Secondly, how important do you think pace in midfield is this year? I've been using Barry and Fellaini in my midfield and seen no adverse effects. Curious to your thoughts." Well, first of all, dude, thank you so much for being on the channel, and congratulations on your YouTube career. Hopefully it goes as well for you as it has done for me. It's incredible that I'm a person that inspires people to pursue this as a job, and I thank you for that. It means the world to me. In terms of your question, I said even before the game was out, through the demo, through playing the beta, and through playing at Gamescom, that I don't think pace is that relative in midfield anymore. Specifically CDM and centre mid, and to an extent cam, but sometimes your cam does break forward. I also use Gareth Barry, squad builder and challenge guy. I used Tony Kroos a bit this year on my main account. I thought he was great. But ultimately, I agree with you. I don't think pace is that important in centre midfield. I think especially if you have your tactics set up correctly and your team instructions set up correctly, someone like Gareth Barry isn't supposed to be fast running up and down the field. He's supposed to be sitting in front of the defence, stopping anything that comes his way. And you don't need pace for that. You need intuition for that. You need an intelligent football mind for that. You need to make sure you position him correctly, or to make sure that you tackle when necessary and back off when necessary. You don't need to be running around like a headless chicken to do that, you know. So yeah, I would agree with you. I don't necessarily think pace is the be all and end all in midfield this year. Last year it entirely was. You know, someone like Ramirez was a guy that the pros would use, even when you had someone like Team of the Year Modric available. And the reason why they would use Ramirez is just because he was super fast and he had high work rates. And that was last year. But this year, I definitely think slower centre midfielders will not cause you any problems in your team. At least not to a point where you will notice it often. You might have one game where you're like, holy crap, if I had just had a faster centre mid, I might have been able to stop that. But I don't think it'll be that often. I don't think it'll be that often at all. So thank you for your comment, and congratulations on your YouTube career. The next comment was from Callum Connor. It says, "Hey Nep, I know you're probably never going to read this, but if you do, can you answer my question, please?" Well, I did read it. It said, "My question is, in FUT Champions, do you have to play all 40 games? Thanks. And by the way, I love the channel, love this series. Been here since the start of your FUT 16 Road to Glory." Well, thank you for being here, and appreciate all the views, dude. No, you don't have to play 40 games. If you want, you can play one game, you can play no games, you can play 20 games. You don't get ranked until you played 5 games. So if you play 4 games, you won't get any rewards regardless of where you finish within those 4 games. If you play 5 games, you will get at least the worst reward, which is 5,000 coins and 2 gold packs, just for playing 5 games, even if you lose them. If you played, let's say you played and won your first 18 games and you got into gold 3, and you was like, do you know what, I'm happy with the prize at gold 3, you could quite happily just stop playing and you will get the reward for gold 3. It's entirely up to you. But again, thank you for the comment. Next up is Matteo Hit says, Divisions is dead, EA should just stop them because the prizes are bad anyways. Yeah, I don't know what EA's thought process was with Divisions this year. They've removed the kit from Division 1, which is a bit crazy in itself. The prize structure is exactly the same as last year, which is a little bit silly. I would have thought that they would have done something with it. Given what they're giving out this year, with the daily knockout tournaments having coins and packs as rewards, with FUT Champions weekly and then eventually monthly rewards that are going to be just out of this world good and are already out of this world good, with the fact that they've seemingly improved the draft rewards. J-Tunes, A9 Skills brother, lost in the draft final a few days ago and got a 50k pack and 25,000 coins. People have been winning the draft and getting 45,000 coins, a 100k pack and a 35k pack. Like, you know, the prizes given in every other game mode outside of Divisions have been bumped up to a level where everyone is so happy with it, and then Divisions is just garbage. I don't get it. I don't understand what they're doing with it or why. And I think they should either remove Divisions or put in better prizes. Just put in something that's going to interest people. Put packs in there, kits in there. You know, a better coin reward. Do something. Make it more Divisions. I don't know. Do something with Divisions. I agree. Ethan Gibby says, "Hey Nep, is win quitting really worth it? Although you save time during the FUT Champions, your DNF multiplier decreases, causing your match coins to decrease. So is win quitting actually a good thing to do?" I believe so. Yeah. I'd rather take like a 0.5% less coins and have less stress, because in the long run I'll win more games, which will earn me more coins. So for me personally, yes, win quitting is entirely worth it. And last but not least, Rebin Kanabi, as we're going into the last game now as well. We're on the 9 wins and 1 loss after our first 10 games. Amazing. Says, Nep, I have 1 million coins I'm holding on to because player prices are becoming low every day, so when should I buy the high-end players? My opinion, dude, is just buy them now and play with them. I don't understand why people are like, oh, I've got 1.3 million coins, Ronaldo's 1.1 million coins, I'm going to wait till he's 800,000 coins to play against him. Because by the time you buy him at 800,000 coins, everybody else is also lower. So the players that you've currently got are worth less, the players that you are also, you know, looking at again in the future are worth less. Everything comes down. So, like, even though you pay less in the future, or you might lose coins, like, if you bought him for 1.1 now, Ronaldo, I don't know how much he is, but for our argument's sake, and you sold him for 800,000, and you're like, oh, I lost 300,000 coins on that. You didn't really, because although you did physically lose 300,000 coins, what you can now get for 800,000 coins is exactly what you could have got for 1.1 million coins prior. So I say just buy it, get it done with, and go nuts with it. Now guys, this game is the last game of the video. We were 9-1 before this. This was the final game that I played of the evening because it was 6 o'clock in the morning. I started playing at 2 AM on Friday because I was making videos. I started playing at 2, played for 4 straight hours. I got 10 wins and 1 loss, and then I stopped playing. In hindsight, I wish I hadn't stopped playing, and you'll see why in future videos, but I was on fire here, guys, just picking up win after win after win, and it's because my mentality was right. I was happy playing FIFA. That's the goal I was talking about before, by the way, where it just bounces off Rooney's butt. I was happy playing FIFA. I was enjoying the gameplay. I was loving the team. My opponents were just terrified. Genuinely Will Griggs kind of terrified. Heung-min Son was playing amazing, and after getting a 5-0 win in that game and getting our 10th win, 10 wins already in 11 games. We need 8 more wins to get gold 3 in, what, 29 games. That's incredible. But not only that, guys, as you can see at the top there, after winning that game, we were ranked in the top 100 on our Road to Glory account. We were 85th in the world, and I was 30-something in Europe, which for me is amazing. I never thought I'd get top 100 even on my main account, and I know, although it's highly unlikely I'm going to finish in the top 100, just to be there was unreal. Like, just to see my name, my account, this Road to Glory account, an account that we spent absolutely no money on, sit up there is amazing. And look who's 2 spots above me, Skill BN, that is A9 Skills. He's always in the top 100, it's amazing. But this, guys, is going to be the end of the video for today. If you did enjoy it, be sure to leave a like, rating, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. But for now, guys, I'm out. Peace.